What's up YouTube? So welcome to part 2 of my IS300 engine rebuild. So in this video we'll be removing transmission from the engine and attempting to disassemble the motor. So let's get right into it. Transmission loose. Let's see what size this is. That's perfect. 17. As you can see right now, I'm loosening the bolts on the bell housing to get the transmission loose from the engine, and then I'll be pulling off the torque converter. It's moving. Hold this side of the engine now. Yeah, like press on it. Yeah, that was tight. That was tight for sure. So now we go time lapse. Change the modes on the GoPro. Put this 17. So then when you're gonna do this to one of your whips? What? So we're gonna do this to a whip that you're gonna get in the future. Shit, it'd be easier to do it on a Honda.
Not that white one.
No, shouldn't be that hard. God damn. I know. This project or something.
So what?
So you do a project or something. Oh, that's the wrong way I'm twisting it.
Not getting
I would try to so. I mean, it'd be fun to drive. I just don't want to be whipping that bit.
Don't nobody see me in that shit.
I know. How tall are you?
Unless that bit got a rocket plane or something. I don't give a fuck. I still kind of don't want to be seen in that bit.
I know.
It's so little. You can't really have nobody in that bit.
I know you're gonna have like one person. Get the starter off. Sorry for the background noise. Working on the crib. To remove the starter is just that one bolt that you saw me pull out of the bell housing. IS300 starter. There we got transmission on. Let's see. Check the motor up. Yes. Barely got that out of the way. So now I'm about to remove the torque converter. So on the underside of the block, close to where the torque converter is, what you need to do, there'll be a plastic flap, and you have to get that open. It's a little difficult because it's kind of sealed really tight, which is good, obviously. But once you get that open, it'll give you access to the flywheel bolts that holds in the torque converter. And then once you get the torque converter off, you just pry it off a little bit, and then you can have access to the actual flywheel and then take those bolts off. So I gotta put the crank bolt in, and this is what you're gonna have to hold. So to remove the flywheel and the torque converter, you'll need someone to use a breaker bar to keep the engine from spinning. So what they'll do, they'll just hold the crank bolt in the front while you're trying to loosen the torque converter bolts and the flywheel bolts. And what they'll do, they'll be resistance to you trying to spin the engine, and they'll keep it nice and straight, and you'll be able to get all the bolts loose.
Dipstick, dipshit. I can see where G got ran over at.
Really?
Yeah.
You talking about in the front?
Yep.
What did I do with the 22? I just had it. I just had it jump. Yep. There. Yeah. I think so. Yep, got that one. I think that's it. Yep. Probably gotta pry it off a little bit. It's right behind. Oops. Let's see. Ooh, it's on heavy. Mm-hmm. Yep, take the flywheel off real quick. I think it's supposed to be a certain order you're supposed to take them off. Said you gotta take the flywheel off. Yeah, I think so, but it shouldn't matter because we're taking it off. Let me see what size bolts these are. Yeah, 14s. Let me get the breaker bar. Wait, no. How about this? I get the. Let me check. Let me try it. Whenever you're doing something like disassembling an engine or taking apart your car or anything like that, you should always get little bags and Ziploc bags and write down the name of where the part came from. So it'll make your life a little bit easier when it comes to reassembling everything. You just have all the bolts there, you know where it go, and just reassemble everything like you need to. So we tried to remove the motor mounts, the little top part of them, and they were not having it. They would not come off. We tried to impact, tried to breaker bar, they were not coming off. So what we're probably just going to do is just leave them on there and just spray paint the engine black with them on there, because it's not really that big of a deal. It's not in the way of anything. So we just keep it moving.
Call me.
So he said.
Let me hear you one more time now. You say you gonna what?
Move that stuff right there. So we can probably grab it. Yeah. Yeah. Probably grab it right here to the impact and back that out a little bit. We'll grab the chain from right here in the transmission.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you want the transmission bolts. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna flip it. And we might can flip it by hand. Watch out. It should be a little lighter now. Just need something to sit it on. Okay, we got the move.
So now we're trying to remove the oil pan and the oil girdle. So my dad here, she had a bright idea of just flipping the engine by changing the jack points of where we have the hoist connected to the engine, and just flip it over and make our life a little bit easier with trying to get all the bolts off and just prying the girdle and the oil pan off.
And this that little bracket right there. I just kept the bolt inside of it. I don't know what it's called for something. Alright, I need to try to flip the motor over. You see, we're flipping on this side since there ain't nothing over here. Well, that's an idea. Alright, now, give me the transmission though.
We just removed the oil pan. Now I'm about to remove the girdle, and I believe the girdle, all the bolts on them are just 14 mil bolts, I believe. And it looks to be that the girdle and oil pan are actually sealed with silicone. Yeah, should be.
No, it ain't doing it.
Oh yeah, that is the wrong thing. Pick up the wrong one. So to remove the rod bolts, you need a 12-point socket, and we did have 12-point sockets that we got from Harbor Freight, but they were only imperial instead of metric. And so actually went around town searching everywhere for a metric 12-point socket, and come to find out Walmart actually had one. So we used that and we finally got it loose. Again, I got frustrated and didn't film when I got the crank and all that out, but we should be doing the reassembly pretty soon, and stay tuned for that. Again, I appreciate you guys and girls for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. So now you're up to date on what's been going on. I haven't done anything yet, but the next thing we should be having is the main bearings and stuff like that, so we can get the crank back in the engine and have the rods and pistons reassembled. Also, don't forget to give the video a like, share and subscribe, and comment. And as well, let me know what you like about the video, what you don't like, and what I can do better on. So I'll see you in part 3.